Find out. Okay.
Fatboy FadeAway live here, episode 200. We are glad to be with you here on another Sunday. Gonna got the crew with me as always. I got Tyler, I got Brian, the main man Johnson, and I got Casey Breyer here as well. Gentlemen, it's been quite a journey. I think we've learned a lot over the first 200. We'll try to maybe do something next week as well. We want to do one live together. I'll try hopefully the idea, but we'll see what happens here next week. I do always wish some things were different or better, but at the end of the day, it's always fun doing some podcasts with your best friends and talking sports and talking crap to each other, ripping on each other a little bit, going down conversation hole I was not expecting or anything like that. So I feel like that's been the best part about it. And it's crazy to think that we even have people that listen to the show. And so without them, I don't know if we wouldn't be doing it. Like obviously your brother, my mom, we have other people just as close as that listen, but then we have people like the guys from the other sports show out there. They commented in, and I don't know. It's just we have had Savage on. We've met people from Memphis. We've had Tom Witt on. There's random people along the way. So CP out there in New York as well, right? In case we did him one time. So just been kind of a crazy journey, guys, and we've made it to 200. We started with Lakers and Rockets 1990 look back. And we made it here. So Tyler, number 200 starts this morning.
I mean, as an adult, I don't know if I've put any. I mean, not that I've been the most consistent. Daren, all the credit to you. I think you've been on 200 episodes. So round of applause to Daren. But like, I haven't put. I don't like that I can think of outside of like my job and my like relationships. This has been my number one hobby, and like as last 4 years, like it's an incredible accomplishment to get on here and talk sports with. I mean, not that it's hard to do, but at the same time, it does have its challenges where you want to do better. You want like numbers to look different, but it is what it is. But I get to come on here every Sunday morning and talk to the three people I enjoy talking sports, and you stay in my life even more because we have this podcast, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing because we can depend on it every week. It's there. So no, I appreciate you guys for that. I got one video kind of a funny one from that. Kind of stands out to me a little bit from our fast, and maybe we'll hit some over here as we kind of are getting as we're past 200.
It's a way for me to connect with you guys because I'm over here in Southern California. So
yeah, no, I hear
it's definitely something I enjoy to do, and maybe we've had bumps in the road, but I enjoy doing it. So.
Well, like you said, when you have those bumps in the road, maybe you miss a show or something like that. But we have something we can depend on to kind of come back to, hopefully here on Sundays. Just for people to kind of tune in.
I got my hair cut for show 200, so I'm looking good for the fans right now.
I like it, classy.
It's kind of like the Oakland A's song, "One Good Looking Boy."
I love it. Go ahead, Chase.
Nah, I was gonna say kind of just to speak on what you guys are saying. It's hella fun to do this. Like Tyler said, it does take some time once in a while because you don't want to come here and act like an idiot, sound like we're not talking about. But I think it's really cool. Like we have like the four of us have like a real connection because obviously Daren being my brother, me and Tyler go back since first grade. Met Brian when I was like I think a freshman in high school. So we have so much positive dirt and negative dirt, and it's like funny stories like that we can share about each other, sports, life. I mean, so many. I mean, we got probably so much dirt on each other that it's just like it's comical for us. It's not like.
And we talked about the team so much,
yeah. I mean,
we played so many video games and like that. Like, I mean, we know we know all these little things about each other. You're right.
It's fun too. It's like Brian running in the street with a helmet, getting ready for the JC. Tyler falling in nets, breaking wrists. Like me and Daren just having arguments in the backyard, basically having our dad telling us to get the hell out of here. If you guys can't handle yourself, just quit playing sports. And I don't know, it's just like something we grow up on. It's so competitive, but at the end of the day, it's like we're all friends and we just love doing this.
Yeah, so like I said, too, it started with the COVID era. I feel like there, and then obviously you guys know where Fatboy FadeAway lies there with that name, and then obviously trying to do the rewatchable. So I was thinking like, what were some of the best like potty moments so far? And I'd like to get some more video for some of these along the way, but it's kind of hard to remember all of them. When I go back, I didn't timestamp every episode, so. I did want to get Jay and Jesse's name right there from those. I always, for some reason, there's two J's, and I have the hardest time with these. And I talk to them all the time, and I always want to say James. I feel like it's not a J. I always want to. Sorry, Jay, out there. And so, but yeah, just the guys like that have always supported us along the way. But when I say best potty moments, there's a few that kind of stand out to you, Tyler. You got a couple that. Kind of stay that you kind of remember.
Personally, everyone knows I love to argue. Like from my friends, like I'll take the opposite side just to like make you explain yourself further. And like the Blake Griffin argument me and you had about whether he was a superstar or not was early doors, and just it's just what I like doing. Like when it gets passionate, we actually like believe what we're saying, and like it's just fun. Like it was a moment where I was like, okay, this is what talking sports and all that, having disagreements and being able to come to differences. We might disagree, but you can talk about it and have it be a little entertaining and still get your thoughts off. And then the earliest moments when we first started this, like I was abusing a substance. We don't need to get into that, and I was up all night. I'm in this pink room at my parents' house. This is my little sister. I just laid down doing the podcast. I was like, my gosh, I would never do that now. I would never like lay in this pink room doing the podcast. I was like, oh God, that's embarrassing. Looking back on it.
That's so funny. It's because I wrote that one of them like being on that note, like it kind of this isn't necessarily positive, but it was a positive in the sense of like it is hard to do consistently, right? Like I remember that was like, and I would get frustrated with that because I'm kind of like that type of person, you know what I mean? Exactly. And like I say, if we're gonna do something, let's do whatever. And like, but then I remember thinking like. How much harder the actual business is too. Like, and would you even want to be that good? Because if you are that good, the stakes rise, all that stuff changes. You would be doing it more than you'd have to do it now. You know what I mean? So that it's almost like there's a world for it, right? And like you want a lot of views. Like we want people tuning in and listening to it, but there's like a hard. It is hard to actually do there at the same time. Another one for me, go in case then I'll get to you real quick. Was you. Cussing out Towns was also a good one for me. Maybe
I called him a bitch.
You did. Well, you were a little harsh on him. That's all I'll say. That we'll keep the language off that one, Brian. We will not play that soundbite again. But that
I missed that one. What was that about?
I don't know, but it was a while ago. I just remember thinking, man, God, Casey just like chewed him out like he's this little like a stepbrother. You got another one, Case?
That was one of my finest moments.
Carl pissed you off, I guess. Carl pissed you off.
I felt bad after that one, especially everything that happened with his family, and it's not a good look for me on that one. I feel terrible still about that one. Calling him the B word was not polite, but I was more commenting on his play and how soft he was, and maybe went a little bit too far on that one. But no, speaking of like the difficulty of doing it, I remember when I was at my ex-fiance in San Jose, and I'd be freezing my ass in the car, like trying to do this podcast, and Daren be like, come on, you can do it. I'm like, it's freezing in the car. It's like 28 degrees. He's like, no, you can find a time to do it. I was like, all right. So, I mean, just like little things like that. But, I mean, it was there, and it was fun to do. And I think one of the episodes, which like Tyler, you talking about like embarrassing, I think I was sitting on a couch wearing like, they didn't even look like I was wearing pants. It was just really embarrassing.
Rodney Dangerfield.
The cameras were always a tough one, right? Like, because remember they would go back and forth. Tyler mentioned that right before they came on. I don't know. There's when you said be worth it, Brian. I want to give you a little credit because I felt like when you were younger, you kind of took the name and got too frustrated. But I noticed this we've done doing the pod more. You act like you're frustrated with it, but you have a good way of turning it around, and that's the Big Country nickname. I feel like you've had some good comebacks. I've listened back over the years. You had the inappropriate one a couple weeks ago, but it was well done, well timed with it. That I like as well. So that was something I always liked with it. And then Johnson, You have the best one-liners that I'm not expecting. I'm just gonna say that, like, I don't know where they come from, and like all of a sudden you'll like, as Tyler says, you poop gold with these things. So well done. You you have some good ones, man, over the years. So
it feels like ever since I met you, my personality's opened up, and I have a better sense of humor on things. So.
Well, I remember we would have our disagreements as well, though. We'd have our as well. And we probably.
I mean, Brian had one this morning.
I feel like most of them were alcohol filled, but.
Well, like you said, you're off the teddies right now. Yeah. Well, you look good too. The Planet Fitness, we're seeing the updates there. There as well. So keep it up, man, with that.
I do feel a lot thinner. So.
When is the shirtless photo going to get posted?
We're going to get it soon here. That'll be the next big episode. We'll probably get the most views there.
I want to see Brian on that calendar with the shirt off behind him. You're 12 months of Brian. That's what I want to see. January through December.
No, we have his own photo shoot. The other one was I wish we would do more of them, but is the rewatchables. It's still always my favorite thing to do. Whenever we do that and we actually do it like for real, like those are my best favorite ones. I still enjoy that more even than doing the Sunday stuff. I like it, but the rewatchables for me are always really fun too along the way. I did have you remember early on, that's what we started doing was the rewatchables. That's basically all we did. And one of my favorite games that we did a rewatchable on was the Celtics Hawks game 7. I think it was that was like literally one of the best games I think we could have chosen, like given like some of the players we didn't know. But I remember I was doing that episode that there's a damn spider that came across the desk and got in the way. Let's see if I got this. Let's see if it will work here for you on some of the.
Look at that hair.
Look
oh my
at that.
God.
Big old spider. Dang, hold on.
Peter. We're gonna get canceled.
Where'd he go?
Look at that beard. We support the WWF.
Not that wild. Whatever that is.
Not supported by Vince.
We want Shane McMahon.
Man, this is going to be on a not top 10 moment right here. We got to have.
Come on, it's a spider. Let's go.
Man, stop recording and kind of look for the spider.
Are you serious?
I thought that was good. Like just a random conversation like that between you guys and that was like are some of my favorite moments. Like look at that.
Yeah, we're gonna have Peter Parker on our heads.
Like it's one of those random things where like Casey starts bringing out the WWF and just random stuff like that. So episode 2 that was Brian. That was a while back.
Wow.
That was a while back.
I could tell that you didn't have the Pat Riley haircut.
We did have that. We did not have the Patrick look at the time. No, we did not have it. I think I was probably close to 4 years ago at this time. So, anyways, that was some of the good stuff there with it that I had with it. Maybe I'll try to find some more clips like that. Maybe as we kind of get through 200, or we can find some funny ones that we have along the way with it. All right, but guys, it's been good. 200 now shows. What do you guys think of? Another big number yesterday getting retired in the Bay Area, Joe Thornton, number 19. I know none of us would say we're hockey heads around here, like to the ultimate level, but everybody here knows who Joe Thornton is. And when they do know he's one of the best players I would say one of the best players in Bay Area sports, professional sports history. I was thinking about what tier he would lie in. I was thinking maybe he's probably like tier 3, somewhere in that, maybe tier 4 in terms of like superstars, probably tier 3, but is where I kind of have him placed in. But it also, I don't know. It got me also thinking about, so what tier would he fall into of all Bay Area athletes? And then on top of that, just that a duo of Thornton and Marlowe, even though they didn't win, but they played forever together. I mean, that's right up, not the same as Steph and Clay because they have the championships. But I was like, that's got to be one of the better duos in Bay Area history, professional sports history, I would think. I don't know. Any thoughts on any of those? Case, you got any thoughts about? Maybe start with the tiers with Thornton. Where do you think he'd be, 2 or 3 there? Or maybe lower?
I would say probably tier 3, tier 2. I think it's just because hockey. It's not like one of the 4 major sports. I mean, I know it is, but it's not for us that we really follow. You have some diehard fans like Tyler's brother Ryan, who probably could tell us way more about this, but I think we're still pretty knowledgeable hockey fans. And just during that time, it was just fun because they were winning all the time. They were always in the playoffs. And I think he came over from Boston, I believe.
And he won MVP. Like,
yeah,
I think that
in Boston, I think, too.
Yeah,
so I think that was probably one of the best trades ever in Bay Area franchises, just to get that player. And when it came over, I kind of knew who he was, but when you watch him, he was just such a different. We'd never seen a hockey player play like that. Like Marlowe was great. Marlowe was great. Don't get me wrong, but you could tell the level of Thornton was just that much better. And having those two was just it was an incredible time to be a hockey fan. I remember seeing like Sidney Crosby and getting to watch like that was like the coolest game I got to watch with my dad. Where like a few rows up behind the hockey, like right behind the net, and it was someone I was like, these guys are incredible. And Joe Thornton, he's just on a different level, man. It's way different.
Well, he was
tier 2, tier 3 if it was, he's a hockey player. So,
and he was an unreal passer. That's kind of what his thing.
Best.
He was one of the best passers there with it. What do you kind of make, Tyler, of a couple of those the tiers, but also maybe the combination of him and Marlowe?
As far as the tiers go, I don't know where you put it. Like, he's one of the best hockey players of his generation. He's like, who in the Bay Area is he? Like the Willie McCovey tier? Or is he higher than that? Like, that's where I get like, who belongs in a tier with Joe Thornton? Like, he's above Marlowe, obviously, because they're better. I think it's Willie McCovey. I think it's the Stabler, maybe.
Stabler won a championship.
But Joe was better than Stabler at their job. Like, if you're
he's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. It says, do you have a player that you'd put him with? Before you answer that, I think another special thing about it is him and Marlowe, like the dynamic duo. They were 1-2 in the same draft class. Like, it's amazing how parallel their careers came, and then they got to come to this team. And they were like the Dallas Mavericks, and the Dallas Mavericks never won that championship against the Heat. They'd always win 50 games, whatever the equivalent in hockey is, 95 points. And they'd be a threat in the playoffs, but something unfortunate would happen, and they'd lose.
They always seemed like they lacked a little speed, as I remember that was like when they played. I remember that always thinking
a little goaltending at times.
He was such a good passer.
They did make the finals, right? With against
the Penguins.
Yeah, they played the Penguins.
There's some of
my sister actually went to a game in Pittsburgh.
What was the one with the Ginla in the Calgary?
Those the Western Conference Finals, man.
I'm gonna win this.
They beat Calgary in a lot of early season playoff experiences. I remember as a kid, that was a team they beat. But Joe Thornton, I mean, like I said, he's probably better than Marlowe. I think we would agree, right?
Yeah.
Is he better?
Yeah.
Okay, but Marlowe they did the right thing, the Sharks, and they retired his number first last year. I think because he's Mr. Shark. I think he has the most games ever played in NHL history. So I know he has the most in Sharks history by a lot. So he's by far like their main guy. But Thornton, I think everybody knows, was a little bit better of a player. But I was thinking through that, who also will be the next Bay Area athlete to get their number retired. And then Tyler, just to answer your question, I think Willie McCovey is a good one. I also think the other one that with no ring, right? The best players would be Barry Bonds. He has no ring, right?
It's not the same tier though.
No, I know, but I'm just saying we're talking through to the best Bay Area athletes with no ring. I would say he's 2. I mean, I put Tim Brown at number 2. I know he played for LA too a little bit, but he was in Oakland for a while too. And then I went to Thornton, Marlowe, and then there were some baseball players we could have added to the list from the A's, but they were just
Chris
there.
Mullen doesn't crack that top 5.
Mullen to me, I had number 4. So there was some. I just couldn't think. There was a lot of A's guys, but I felt like the A's guys didn't play long enough for stretches of times. Like I always, you know what I mean. So in those early 2000s, so Kent was. I thought about it too, but I don't know. He could be there too. Kent was maybe my Thornton area, but I think Kent's another tier below.
I'd agree.
Yeah. So Casey, you thought there?
I remember watching playoff games at your house, and every time the Sharks scored, Daren would do sit-ups.
Sounds like you like from Brian's explanation of watching sports with you. Anytime something good happen, you're doing a sit-up or a push-up.
If they gave up a goal, Daren's saying the season's over.
Remember
my favorite with Bill King on the radio.
My favorite one when Brian was over and talk about me and Casey just going over the top for fun was Game 4 Detroit A's or the A's at Detroit ALCS, and we knew they were gonna lose, and we were just like over enthusiastic about like every positive thing. Like I remember it was like a ball. We're like, it's all right, that's all right. It's a good. And Brian was like looking at us like we're psychopaths. We were
I got banned from the house when they played Minnesota when they had Ray Durham and then they ended up still losing. He answers the door and I said, "Way to go, jackass," or something.
Brian, I got banned from the house. I was sick. That's funny.
That's because you flipped my dad off
on the bike. Dad did honk at him. All right, and that was in the blue car too. Hey, so who will be the next area? I said Patrick Willis gets his number retired next. It should be Tim Brown. I know he's with Vegas, but he's not even. The Raiders don't even retire numbers.
Or you could even say Bowman.
You think Bowman? I mean, Willis is going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame right now. So I asked Adam the same question. He says Curry thinks the Niners take forever to do that stuff. I was like, well, Curry might still play another 4 years. So I don't know. We'll see who goes next. You guys got an Antoine Jameson, or like, does he get up there? No.
I think it's going to be whatever
Antoine Jameson.
Big three retires this year. Unless they want to wait for Curry to be the first of the three. What
if Durant retired first? When they put Durant up ahead of Curry?
No, he'll be fourth. He's going to be last. They're going to make him like.
They put him ahead of Curry. We put Durant back. We want to be soft to the feelings. We need to keep it back. I don't know. I think Willis is the one for me. I think Casey got a good call.
Yeah, I was gonna say Curry. I didn't even say I forgot about Patrick Willis, but it's just like you said, it feels like the Niners kind of take like 20 years to do these things. I don't know. I'd probably rock with Curry. I mean, the time Posey, Buster, that's a good one too, Tyler. I'd say Curry just because I think, like you said, he might have 4 years left, and as soon as he retires, I think they'll do it
They'll probably do it the next year.
I would think so. I don't even think it will take as long as Dwayne Wade. I think it'll be pretty quick.
Does he get the same statue?
Let's hope he has a different one.
Did you see some of the memes for that, Dwayne Wade?
Yeah,
I mean, what?
He looks like Yao Ming.
Well, I thought the best one I saw was, what was it? Rocky 3? Is it Rocky 3? The Russian guy, or the 4? Is that 4? 4. Okay, so the other part where the guy's like, throw in the towel, like that. He's got them up. That was my favorite one.
That's what a statue looked like.
That was my favorite one. I was like, it does kind of look like it. I was like, that was actually a good one. So yeah, I think Curry would. I think he's the obvious one, but it kind of like doesn't line up with where it is right now. So
I think Posey's actually going to be the guy now that I've thought about it long enough.
More than Willis.
Yeah,
they waited a long time for Will Clark.
Yeah, but Posey's won 3 championships. Like, Will Clark never won anything. He was a good player, great player. He's not even a Hall of Famer. Like, there's a difference. Comparing Posey to Will Clark, great.
Tyler, do you remember though we had a show a couple of weeks ago where we said, "All right, if you were the head of the organization, would you want to honor yourself?" Now that he takes over, he retires his jersey. Retired in July. That'd be kind of funny though.
That's true too.
I'm back. The jersey is now retired.
Put the statue out front.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he might still, but I don't know. I think that adds a little wrinkle. I think a little bit to it. So, all right. So we have Willis as a possibility. We have any of the big three for the Warriors. KD, does Iguodala eventually get his number retired?
Nah, I don't think so.
All right, Iggy doesn't get retired there with the 4
Well,
championships.
he was a Finals MVP. There's history. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so. I wouldn't, but he could.
Come on, Eric Dampier. Let's get him.
Big Eric, Donald. They need to be next to each other. That's the key there. Eric Dampier. I was thinking the Raiders, I guess, don't retire numbers, so that took out a lot of guys for me. But I think Tim Brown would be the obvious one if they did retire numbers. I don't see why they wouldn't do him. The A's, I was trying to think, is Eric Chavez? Does he get his? I mean, he's in the A's Hall of Fame, but he's not good enough. He can't get it. No, if he would have stayed. Giambino. So, all right. I thought that was kind of fun, though, looking at Thornton getting his number retired, and then kind of looking back at some of the Bay Area guys we have here that might be on the list here coming up and shortly. Just kind of get your thoughts around some of the best Bay Area athletes. I always kind of find that topic to be funny, but I mean, it's obviously a lot less now with the Raiders and A's gone, but there still is a history. Because it's still been 10 years since the Raiders, maybe. So there's a lot of guys that are in play to kind of be up for that stuff that we saw. T.
Evgeny Nabokov is up next for the Sharks.
Maybe Evgeny. You see the next one to get
the ball. Nabokov had the greatest NHL video game call I remember. Nabokov with the it was always great excitement.
Probably the announcers will probably get maybe before the players. They have good announcers. All right, Dubs this week. Again, the Warriors continue to suck against bigs. As I said, Zubats is one of the best players in the history of the NBA against them. Plus 21, another 16, 17 rebounds against the Warriors this week. Yes, the Warriors did blow probably a lead in that because they shot like my 6th grade basketball team from the free throw line. But they needed Brian Johnson out there this week at the line. Well, they were 7 for 21 at some point against the Clippers. Absolutely pathetic. Kuminga and Pods. Tyler, I want to know about Faith Meter with these guys. You were pretty fired up about them, Brian. I want to make sure, see if I can get some negative Nilly Tyler on that. And then I got, again, Bob starting to piss me off a little bit. Fitzgerald, he was not happy. And then let's just start there. Then I got a couple other thoughts. Hit any of those things you got. Tyler, I want it. They can't, the bigs, I'm telling you, I'm concerned still.
I mean, I'm not concerned as far as the regular season goes. As far as championship goes, I expect them to finish as a 5 seed. Are they as good as they're playing now? Probably not. Are they as?
They have a tough loss last night with Big Wembley.
You think they are? It was on a back-to-back. They played great the
first
half.
They were up 20.
The second half, they ran out of gas. It happened.
I'll be back. I got to use the restroom.
Don't take a Jason. Could Jason Smith be the next retired? But they were on back-to-back, which is an excuse. They played terrible in the second half. Draymond Green played the worst game of the season.
Curry was terrible.
Played very good. Wiggins was terrible after the first quarter. When those three guys don't play good for extended time, you're not going to win. And I expect them to play good pretty consistently.
Still don't worry about the bigs.
They need a shooting guard. I'm more worried about a shooting guard than a
Melton
big.
Injury kills you?
It doesn't kill you, but it definitely hurts you.
On the depth anymore.
You lose the defense. You lose a guy who has confidence and feels like he belongs. Pods doesn't feel that way right now. Lindy sucks. Stop playing him.
He has one of the higher selling jerseys right now, I guess, in Warrior. It's starting to really ramp up. Come on, Tyler. Get on the train.
Light-skinned brothers. I don't know. Are in the Bay Area because they're in San Francisco. I don't know. I don't want him playing. They need a 2 guard. Maybe go get Dante DiVincenzo.
His athleticism is a little. Yeah. Kaminga Pods, though. I mean, you've given up now on them?
No, I don't. I haven't given up on Pods. Kaminga.
He stinks, though, right now. God, he's terrible right now.
He is doing what Draymond Green did the last 2 years that you guys praised him for. He still plays good defense. He's not he can't hit a 3. He's terrible at offense as far as shooting the ball. He should just take that out of his game. Don't even worry about it. Play like a Tony Parker without the craftiness. Everything within 10 feet and play defense. That's where he should focus. Don't shoot 3s. You can't do it. Practice in the practice. Don't practice during the game.
Casey,
is he good right now? No, I agree. But I still believe Pod will get better. I need Kuminga to play better so we can trade him. That's my opinion.
Casey, I just feel like Tyler, maybe I know you've been the same way, but he's still just not concerned about these bigs. And I have a massive concern about anybody with legit size. Anybody with legit size.
They won a championship in 22 without bigs.
They're not going to be able to get that type of matchups that they got that.
Jokic?
okay, you're right. Maybe they do get Denver again on that same level. Jokic is a little better than he was then too, though. Chase, I'm concerned. The size. I'm going to say it. They lose again to the two big guys. Even though Wembley shot 13 threes last night, which is crazy. He's like 7'6", taking them.
Hey, he was unreal in the fourth quarter. I mean, just blocking shots like left and right.
Mr. Castle.
Moody looked like he was in shock when he thought it was goaltending. Wembley just basically cupped it and threw on the floor, which is insane. I think, Darren. I mean, they're going to struggle with some of the bigs. I don't like during the regular season. I think they can get away with it because of the depth. You have 13, 12 guys that are just kind of hockey changes right now, playing 10, 12, 15 minutes, 18. I don't even think Curry's averaging over 30 minutes a game yet this year.
Nope.
So, I mean, that's a positive in that way because their legs, they're going to at least have it for the push at the end of the year. But, I mean, Trace Jackson Davis, I'm impressed with them, but I think the youth definitely shows on the defense. Some of the decision-making. Draymond's playing, I think, as well as he can. You could tell last night he was pretty frustrated with some of the Buddy Hield's defense. Curry, you could tell they weren't on a string like they've been. But Kuminga, Pajensky, I don't know, man. They're pretty infuriating to watch sometimes.
They're so frustrating because they're inconsistent.
Well, it's not the lack of like trying. It's just some of the shots that they take. They're not getting to positions that they are best suited for the team. Wiggins, I think, has actually been playing his best basketball in probably the last couple of years, probably since the finals. I mean, he had 30 points against the Hawks. I love the way he's being aggressive and assertive. His three ball is actually going down good this year. So, I mean, I think it will come down to size, but I mean, that's kind of what the Warriors, that's kind of always
going to kill them.
They fill out their roster and worry about the afterwards.
Well, Mike, get a big. There's not many 7-footers out there. Well, okay. Then you don't, and we know what we are. We're going to be at best, conference finals. At best, you're not beating the elite. There's too good of teams.
Well, let's hear from our basketball expert, Brian. Let's hear
Brian. Does size matter, right?
It was funny. It was funny. Like we do group text, and it's like they only start talking when they start losing or something. Then I don't know. When the Warriors are winning, then you don't hear much from them. But then when they start losing, then you get a bunch of texts from Adam and Daren about the Warriors. So
that sounds about right, Brian. That's the info we need. That's the info this podcast.
Brian always
12-4. You would be so stoked before the season if you said we're going to be 12-4.
Yeah, but I can also know that they have this limitation that's going to kill them against the I can see it. They're coming against these better bigs. They're just not going to be able to dial it in.
I never said they were a championship contender. That's not where I said they were. But I think now that they've started this way, they need to address it and try and become that. Let's downsize this depth to get a little more talent at the bigs.
Right. They've at least set themselves up where I think what Tyler you're saying is they can possibly make a trade because they already started off so well 12-4. I mean, if they were like the Sixers, I mean, I'd be definitely worried. But
Zach LaVine, is that who we want? Zach attack.
The injury still scares me. I've always loved Zach as a player as far as his raw talent, but his injury thing scares me.
They did get a cup win this week, though, guys. They did get Brian. We did get a cup.
I wish all their losses were in the cup.
What's this cup thing? I never heard of it.
It's their bra size.
They have to. It's just like this in-season tournament. It's in-season tournament. But then they beat the Hawks by 30. The East is pathetic as well. I don't know. It'll be a little run here. We'll see what the Warriors. I'm happy with where they're at, like you said, but I'm just see this. I just feel like it's a flaw. Like I can see it in the roster coming, so I'm just hoping they can address it or somebody steps up. And I think maybe the Kuminga pods thing is something that they could package to his team. I don't know. They might not be able to contractually be able to make it work for a big name, but I don't know. That's what it looks like to me is their best bet.
We should do every week Daren's confidence level. So I feel like now it's at a 5 this week. It was at 6 last week. So it went down on one.
Zubats. We're 0-2 against Zubats. I'm not happy about this. Right? Zubats is MVP in my book right now. Ryan, real quick before I forget, what's your fact of the week? This week.
They're going to build another statue in front of a stadium. This time it's the Lakers, and they're going to put Pat Riley out in front of the stadium, one of the greatest coaches. So maybe it's going to look like Daren a little bit. But.
The hairstyle will go with that. We love that. Brian's NBA fact of the week to you, sponsored by nobody, as they say right there. But we appreciate the effort.
I hope one day it's sponsored by the CW.
CW, if anybody deserved it, it's you. If anybody deserved a sponsorship by CW,
Chad Michael Murray might make a guest appearance.
That'd be hilarious.
I saw them at Disneyland one time. Him and his wife, who was the girl in Disturbia, who was one of my all-time crushes as a kid, with Shia LaBeouf. They're married now. And I saw them at Disneyland. I was like, holy smokes, you're smoking. But anyway, carry on.
Brian, NBA fact of the week brought to you. Again, hopefully next week we will have CW as the sponsorship. Episode 200 here, folks. We just talked a little Warriors there.
I think I can get Blake Lively on board because she was on Gossip Girl and they were on CW. So
you can get her. I like our chances of getting 100 views. I like that. I like our chances. I was thinking just real quick. This is a random thought for another time, but get your mind. Would winning a championship, if you were a player with the Bulls now, be the best team to win a championship with in terms of getting praise? Like, would that be the team with you would get a lot of love for it because they haven't won in a while? Jordan has such an aura over that team, and you'd be this guy breaking through, kind of this new. I don't know. I just was thinking that sometimes. It does. So the Bulls, and it's just such bad ownership over the last 30 years. I know they had that run with Rose and a few others, but it's not because of their ownership.
I was the New York Knicks.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
Jalen Brunson, if he brought a championship.
I'm already talking about how great overrated Jalen Brunson is.
Maybe I was watching The Last Dance one too many times. Niners.
The Bulls are right there, though. You're right.
Niners look done, boys. My Mark Hanna's dad came over and he said they look toast. They look pathetic. Brian, I know you were frustrated on talking the gridiron last night last Sunday with Shanny. He definitely deserved probably one of the more games he did deserve a little bit more of the blame for some of his play calls, especially when they were up a little bit. But Purdy was off his game, which never helps the coach. He made some bad throws along the way, just weren't accurate, and he still played okay, but wasn't his best game either. The Niners defense actually showed up, but then you find out, was it Friday that Purdy's out? He's out of the game. And you get Dennis Allen. No, I'm just kidding. You get Brandon Allen as it is the quarterback.
This isn't just talking from the Purdy, perspective. I mean, this isn't the year you want to have in your contract year, right? I mean, he just doesn't seem like he's as good as he was the Super Bowl run. I don't know.
No, I think you're fair.
Yeah,
I think he's fair. I mean, I think he's. Tyler, you obviously know he's still good, but
there's going to be a lot of business decisions in the offseason, but I really don't know if I want to give him a lot of $60 million. I'm having doubts. I don't want to get stuck where we were with, Jimmy Garoppolo, where 6 years of that kind of quarterback play. That's the only thing that concerns me.
I will say this about Shanahan, then I'll let Tyler go, is just to give you a little kind of confidence with them is, yeah, you do got to remember you have been in the championship game, 4 times with them. It's been 8 years. Reed got 13 with the Eagles, I believe, and then they let him go, and he's still now one of the best coaches. So I'm not saying he has been off, I think, a little too. But Tyler, your thoughts with Purdy going out, optimism? Are you still optimistic about this team? Even if they win the division, how optimistic are you? You got Bosa out now too.
No, am I optimistic with how it looks right now? No, but I'm not blaming the coach. I'm not blaming the coach and quarterback get blamed when you don't win. But could you win a Super Bowl with these two if you have the right talent around them? Absolutely. Is $60 million too much for Brock Purdy? I tend to think so. I am with Brian on that. I'd rather keep the coach and get a new quarterback than get rid of the coach and keep Purdy. I think that's an easy decision. I mean, they haven't been an underdog since week 7 of 2022. That's how good this team's been. And this is how well they've been coached and how much talent they've had. That's insane.
Yeah. And they've lost a lot of good defensive coaches. I think their defense is part of it.
Defense stinks. You said the defense showed up last week.
I think they need to reload on the defensive line. Just get guys that can get get to the quarterback and stop the run, that's where we've been gutted. Like we just have
trying
Bosa,
to
and then
re-up the
that's
defensive
it.
line every year. They do that. They go get Chase Young. They go get Leonard Floyd. They don't get the right guys. They don't work out. They don't draft the right guys outside of Bosa. They've had good D tackles, but they always let the D tackles go, like Armstead, Buckner, DJ Jones went to Denver. Like they always let the interior guys go. They try and bring in an outside guy who's supposed to be good with Bosa. Bosa is consistently good. His stack numbers are down. The defense was great though last week until Bosa got hurt, and then all of a sudden we can't stop a runny nose. Like I don't know. I'm not getting rid of Shanahan. I think that's crazy. There's no way I'm getting rid of Shanahan.
Okay, but are you guys done now?
The last guy on the whole roster I get rid of. Anybody.
Are you guys done this year then?
I don't know if I agree with that, but
who's the last guy you get rid of? Who's the most important person in this franchise?
I would say Purdy.
I'd probably say Fred Warner, Bosa. I put them above Shanahan at this point.
There's no chance. Fred, middle linebacker? I don't know.
I wish I had a middle linebacker.
Exactly.
You guys would.
Let's ask Daren about this.
No, I hear what you're saying. I think there is a point where Shanahan, he is going to eventually get. Like I said, Reed got 13 years. He's at year 8 right now, so he'll probably get. He just signed a new deal. He's getting more time.
I guess the question I have for the future is he is getting a little bit older. If they decide that they have to rework the whole team because of the contract issues, is he going to want to stick around for another rebuild?
Probably not. I mean, I wouldn't think so. Purdy has 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the year, so obviously not off to. I mean, at 31 and 11 last year. Was 4th in MVP voting. So
Debo has been trash this year. He can't get open.
Yeah, I agree with what Tino said about him. Yeah.
They have the worst separation on the outside of Kittle, like in the whole NFL, even with Kittle when he played. They don't separate. I don't know if you want to put that on Shanahan, go ahead. I just don't believe that's a Shanahan thing, considering the last 6 years they've been number 1 in that situation. I just think they lack talent outside as far as receivers getting open.
Case?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to do playoff runs that deep. 4 years in a row, 5 years? I mean, it takes a lot. I mean, look at all the injuries they've had to go through. I mean, I think one of the biggest injuries, and he was actually not having a good start to the year, was Brandon Ayuk. But that really decimated the wide receivers because as much as Debo's a great NFL player, I don't think he's the best receiver. I don't think that's his natural. He's just a player. You give him the ball, he can make plays. But as a route runner, I think Ayuk is clearly their best wide receiver in route running. And that's hurt Purdy because that was one of his go-to guys. And now you can see how much he's using Juwan Jennings. He's just comfortable throwing him the ball. But kind of to
I would like to see them run more screens with Ricky Pearsall. I don't know why they don't do that more. I think he's like a quick receiver. I think he could add some more to the offense. I mean,
I think
because in the Tampa Bay game, he looked really good, and then for some reason he didn't even get any touches in the Seattle game, which I thought was stupid.
Well, I will say this, Brian, though, the turnovers that you guys had, that Brock Purdy's had, they've been really bad, timely turnovers, and some bad ones, tips at the line.
I agree with that.
The ones down at goal lines or at their side of the field. So it flips the field. I don't even think Purdy's playing that bad or that good. It's just when he's making mistakes, they're at costly times. And
I agree.
In the last 5 years, I've never seen the Niners. Purdy has given them leads, I think, 3 times in the last 2 minutes, and the defense has not been able to hold it.
They could have easily lost to Tampa Bay, right? And they could have they could have lost that one too.
I mean, they're right where I thought they would be this year. A little bit better than I thought actually, but
Do you think that I was thinking I read something that maybe they'll actually play they'll actually run Maxson and McCaffrey more together now that they have the backup quarterback in, which would actually maybe help their offense a little bit more.
I think that's another point I want to make is Christian McCaffrey just doesn't have the same burst he had.
You got to give him a couple more weeks, though. You got to give him a couple more weeks. I would give him a couple more because Achilles. Still having decent. I would just say I would give him a little bit more time. He's a great player.
And
But they got to run Maxon at the same time too. Get him in there.
Quit running like runs up the gut in the middle. I think they should try going more on the outside. I don't know why they're, it doesn't seem to be generating anything for them.
I think they run the most sweep plays in the NFL.
Are they handoffs?
I don't know. It just feels like where's the screen game?
I'm with you on that.
It's completely disappeared.
We have both talked about that throughout the year. The play calling has been different this year. There's less play action. There's less like Purdy on the move outside of like him improvising with.
There's no Shanahan.
Everyone else is like, oh, Purdy can improvise. This is great. I'm looking at it like I liked it when he got the ball out on time and they'd run for and Ayuk and Debo would run for 15 yards down the field. Like I don't know. It's something's just not working this year.
I think this is the most flawed 49ers team that in the last 5. They cannot stop when they need a stop, when they need a big possession. Gino. I mean, they just can.
That was embarrassing. He just ran up like no one even came close to him.
Casey's was right there.
They need to bring Jimmy Ray back.
Hey, I guess the good thing is we don't have to talk Raiders. And then Thanksgiving is coming up Thursday.
Classic.
Little throw back here. So
so you don't have any confidence against Denver. You say another blowout.
I mean, we could
we lose the rest of the
we want to lose. The Raiders are pathetic.
Before we get to this video, do you have a quarterback you want?
No.
Shador?
I don't know if they're
Quinn?
I guess Shador Sanders would be the one, but it's not like I don't know. I don't think there's like a number one guy that I'm hearing about right now. So I need to I feel like there's still a lot of names that are going to be thrown out in the process. So I guess
I like Milroe from Alabama.
Yeah, but
he looked terrible last night. But
he doesn't
before last night.
Yeah,
You're right.
I would probably say no on him. But that's just me. Here's a Pat little Thanksgiving Thursday.
This is great. There's some things in life that just fit, and I think when you talk about football, Thanksgiving, traditional rivalries, and being there, that's a good fit.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
And happy Thanksgiving to you, and 20 great years, and we have it all again today. We have turkey legs, we have turkey, we have turducken, and we have the biggest thing, the tradition of Thanksgiving and football.
You gotta love a little John there I got to get that up there with the turducken out there. And that's Thursday. I mean, Thanksgiving's changed a little bit with the games. Right, like they got the night game. They got the night game. The Cowboys used to be the last game. You'd have it'd be the crappy Lions in the morning, and then you'd have the Cowboys. You probably killing like another team in the afternoon. There, once in a while, you got the Miami snowball game. You had some fun ones there, but this year the rules are reversed. The Lions are the dominant team, and they get the morning game still. Then they have the Cowboys there in the afternoon game again. So. It is right. John did say it well. There is a nice little tradition there between Thanksgiving and football, even though that's not always good football. It is kind of there, like it's there for a little bit. So I don't know. And back then it was even more because those were the only 2 games you had. Cable is different with some of that setup, so there's more college football, but another as well. So Thanksgiving and football, gentlemen, one of the best, right? One of the best.
Yeah, I got screwed last year because I was at the post office and everybody had to work.
This year you get to enjoy a little feast, this week. Tyler, you have go ahead, Chase.
Have any of you guys had a turducken?
No.
I don't know.
That's like my one. I wouldn't say my one. That's kind of pathetic. But one of my bucket lists in life is to have a turducken.
That's one of your bucket list items. I love it.
Hit up a Boston market or something. I don't know.
Boston market, yeah. A turducken at Boston. Tyler, you got NFL.
Have any of you guys ever deep fried a turkey?
I've seen it deep fried. I've never. I think my mom was a deep fryer. She has that of a deep fry. Tyler.
Before just real quick, I think just watching that video of John Madden pass, I miss Pat Summerall more than I miss John Madden. It's like an announcer. Like Madden was great, but Summerall just made it all work.
Well, yeah,
that might be a controversial opinion, but so I have a trivia question for you guys. The most tackles for a loss since 2000. Can you name any of the top 10?
Say the question again.
Crosby.
Tackles for losses in the NFL since 2000.
Max Crosby.
No, he's not even. He hasn't played long enough.
Warren
2000.
Sapp.
People had full careers.
He
Warren
already has
Sapp.
100.
Well, then he's 4 short of number 10.
Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp.
Warren Sapp did not make the list.
Michael Strahan.
Did not make the
It's
list.
going to be linebackers then, so it's going to be Ray Lewis.
God, who's the
Did not
guy
make the
from the
list.
Colts?
Tackles
Colts,
for
the
losses?
pass rush.
Ed Reed.
No, Ed Reed. He's a
What
free
about
safety.
Reggie
Is
White?
there anything blitzes that are coming in?
Dwight
No, Reggie White was
Freeney.
too early.
Dwight Freeney.
No.
That's a lot. That's pretty good.
And
Tackles for.
Dominic Sue?
It's a lot of D linemen. I mean,
That's what I was thinking.
Well, Warren Sapp sent me that. He's not on the list there.
no, but he's not on the list.
Aaron Donald.
Yes, number 4. There's another D tackle who still plays. That's like 39. He's been on
Calais
like 4
Campbell?
teams. Yep, he's number 3.
Yeah, it's
That's what I
probably
was talking about.
like these old guys that probably have like survived a lifetime in there. Wilful.
But
That's good.
who?
Vince Wilful, the big boy.
No, Will Fork.
I was thinking Brooks is a linebacker, but if you said no, it's all defensive linemen. So
There's some outside linebacker or pass rushers that are on this list as well.
Lawrence Taylor. That's probably
No,
too
that's
early.
since 2000.
Yeah, you're right. Too early.
Alden Smith.
No, he didn't play long enough.
Yeah,
There's a guy from the Panthers. He played basketball. He went to the
Julius
Packers.
Peppers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's number 5.
Julius
Number
Peppers.
1 is a Baltimore Raven, but it's not Ray Lewis or Ed Reed. He has a defensive player of the year,
Oh,
Terrell Suggs.
Terrell Suggs. It's a crazy list. I was like, these are the guys with the most tackles.
the
And then
longevity.
yeah, and then, well, it's not even long. They're great players. Julius Peppers, Aaron Donald, Calais Campbell. And then number 2 is probably the best defensive player since Lawrence Taylor.
The
Ray
best
Lewis.
defensive player. I already
At
said Ray
D-line.
Lewis.
Best defensive lineman.
I said Strahan. I thought he was number 2.
I said Donald already.
He's right there with Donald. These two were.
Is he in the?
He has a brother in the NFL.
Oh, TJ Watt or JJ?
Brother in the NFL.
JJ Watt.
JJ Watt. Number 2.
JJ.
The ones we didn't name: Cam Jordan, a linebacker, Levante David, Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, Jared Allen.
Tackles for losses.
Tackles for losses. I don't think they include sacks.
Yeah. Interesting. I was.
Isn't it a weird list? I was like, this is going to be tough.
Yeah, that was
That's why I wanted to ask you guys.
pretty bad. So I know that.
Casey won that round.
Casey won that one. I'll give Casey that one. Casey, on with you. Do you got a top 10 that you wanted to get to?
Yeah, definitely. So these ones are top 10. They're all sports. Top 10 dirtiest plays. Just anywhere
Nancy
throughout
Kerrigan's number 1.
But dude, I want you guys to come up. So after I give my list, I want you guys to have some, that you have that in mind. That because I feel like there's always a game that or a play that you remember specifically, like holy, like if you're watching it by yourself or a random play. So here's mine. I got number 10, which I don't know if you guys remember this, but when Reggie Evans grabbed Chris Kaman's balls from like underneath him. And like you have to watch the video.
I remember that.
So he basically
Came in your
boxing
pants.
it out, and Reggie Evans scoops like Baskin Robbins ice cream, but it's his nuts, and Chris Kaman just shoves the hell out of it. But they do the TNT reaction with Barkley and Kenny Smith. They're like, man, what's he grabbing for cookies? And got which is an insane play. I've never seen that in a box out, but. Number 9.
Let's hope that stays away from the most box. We
Number
don't want
9.
box of cookies. We don't. Okay.
Number 9 was that's in the very beginning of the show. It's like, Tyler, can you help me with this one? But it was Chase Utley's slide in the playoffs, I believe, against the Dodgers. You guys remember who he slid into? He broke his leg, the shortstop for the Mets. That's who it was.
No.
Diaz, I want to say. I could be wrong. But he broke his leg. It was disgusting.
I remember that play.
That's where they got rid of the slide at second base. The halo rule, it was just disturbing. Number 8, which is for us, Bay Area, Dylan Brooks on Gary Payton II going up first. And just in that, he landed and his arm, it was just foul, disgusting.
It was Ruben Tejada.
Ruben Tejada. Thank you, Tyler. Number 7, which is famous for us, was the
cookies.
Yeah, there you go.
I got the video or the fly of the TNT guy.
He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. And then Chris came. I don't know where you get your cookies from.
Who's that on the left? Right? No.
Chris Webber or Doc Rivers, it looks like.
But the rest of us don't get out there. And Chris came and talked about it. The cookie jar. Can you grab my nuts? Yeah, just say it.
Well, I guess well said there, Chris Kamen. That's exactly.
Does anyone know what college Chris Kamen went?
Central Michigan.
Yep.
And then so that was a video I'd never seen before. So
that's pretty funny.
Number 7, we recall this pretty well. This was kind of when we were growing up watching sports. Was Albert Bell, Fernando Vina,
great
just crushing him at. It was like in the middle of the base path, and just he went to tag him and just basically chuck Fernando Vina as hard as he could. So that was definitely
elbow, forearm shiver to the head. That's how I teach my kids to break up double plays. I guess.
Tyler,
here's Albert Bell. This is what you do.
Boom! Right into it.
Damn.
Those Brewer jerseys are pretty cool. I like that.
Fernando.
Everybody can throw the ball at him.
Well, you can't do that.
You can't forearm shiver someone either.
Yeah, but throwing a ball is a little different. He had his helmet off.
Other game is pitching.
Yeah, his helmet.
Throwing the ball.
What's better, throwing the bat at the pitcher or the ball at the base runner?
Such a dirty play. Like if someone did that, I would be so pissed off.
Was that Eddie Murray hitting?
Boom! Right to the elbow, right to the head. Take a seat, Pete. Take a seat right there.
Eddie Murray.
This is a famous one in Bay Area when Bill Romanowski spits in J.J. Stokes' face.
Oh yeah,
that's an epic one. It's just Romanowski. That's who he was.
I'm sure Casey loved every minute of that one.
No, actually, I didn't because Romanowski was playing for the Broncos, and I hated the Broncos. And that's when Romanowski and his wife were like all steroided up, and it was not. I don't know. You could see the loogie coming out of his.
Yeah,
mask.
The slow motion stuff of it. It's kind of. I can't really. I'm not going to get it up, but it's kind of disgusting.
Number 5, which I remember
4, right?
Number 5, I remember clear as day, was Chad Clifton, Warren Sapp. Just probably the ultimate cheap shot on a interception, I believe it was. Clifton is just jogging down the field, and Warren Sapp just absolutely lights him up.
Yeah, I agree. That's a bad one.
It's pretty ridiculous, to be honest. And so that's when Mike Sherman was the coach of Green Bay, and him and Warren Sapp just jawing back and forth with each other. Just a famous one. Another one, baseball, which, I mean, this is how they played, and this was the World Series. Hal McRae. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Dan.
You can keep going as we got it up there.
So number 4 is Hal McRae when he's playing for the Reds against the A's in the World Series, and it's not even a slide. He takes out Todd Green, and it's like he literally just runs straight through second base and just absolutely clobbers him. There's no attempted slide. It was just basically I call it like a backward spear, just upends him, just foul as can be. But I love this one though. This is just an absolute. I don't know. To me, it's just Bush. Totally not even right what Warren Sapp did. I get there are people saying, "Well, he's on the football field. He's got to keep his head on his swivel," but
here it is. Yeah,
it's just completely unnecessary. I don't know.
Boom! Yeah, damn. Man, he just crushed him right there. Holy mackerel! You're right. It was on an interception too. So, holy smokes! Yeah, he crushed it on that one. So, all right. So McRae 4. What do you got? 3 then?
Number 3, which I was like, damn, I really forgot about this one, was the Albert Hainward stomp on the Dallas Cowboys guy that's not wearing a helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Just spikes him basically in the head and just does the Seth Rollins stomp on him pretty much.
Yeah.
And he's got no helmet on and just smashes it right down. Hainsworth ejected from the game. Just a disgusting show of play. I mean, he could seriously freaking hurt the guy. He was bleeding, obviously. He's wearing spikes. Number 2, I think it's one of the world's most famous ones is when Mike Tyson bites Evander Holyfield's ear. Not once, but twice, like 3 times. So I've never seen someone bite someone's ear off. Not on live. So that was another one. And number 1, which ultimately ended up The guy served 18 months of probation, got suspended from hockey for a year. The guy was Marty McSorley on Donald Brashear, which was the guy got charged with assault, and he had a grade 3 concussion. Which
was that was one where he hit him with the stick over the top?
Yeah, that's a nasty one. I was looking that one up right now before I already sent the one to you, Darren.
So, those are my top 10 that I could recall that I was just like, man, there's certain plays. I know you play hard, but these are just dirty plays.
Tyler, the one. You sent it to me in a second. But Casey, I'm surprised. Probably people would say you're a homer for this. About the other stomper around the world here with Draymond and Sabonis.
Curry's got the board. Green gets tied up. And a technical has been assessed. Sabonis is down.
Let me say this.
This is acting.
Draymond stepped on him, but Sabonis grabbed his leg first.
Hey, did Sabonis get a flagrant for grabbing his leg?
Last night or 3 nights ago, they were saying suspended for grabbing his leg.
I don't know. That was good. I thought that was good WWF there, Brian, by Sabonis.
I thought I had one. It pretty much ended Kurt Warner's career. But remember when the Saints were like they're trying to take players out? I mean, he just took a hit at the end of that. It was like a playoff game. Like I've never seen a quarterback get hit like that. Most recently.
Yeah, no, there's some bad ones out there. I forgot about that one. Tyler has me one too. I'm going to get up here.
Todd Bertuzzi. You missed Todd Bertuzzi. Another hockey one.
Well, in hockey, I feel like there's a ton of there probably would be potential for a little bit more. I guess would be the point with that one. But let me get it up here on the stage.
Steve Moore's hit goes down here. Bertuzzi
boom.
Goes down. Yeah. The pile lands on Steve Moore.
Yeah, that's just assault right there. That's what that is. That's
right. That's not even the McSorley one. That one's pretty. That one's terrible, Tyler. I forgot about that one.
But the McSorley hits him with a stick. That's almost even worse. I don't know. They're both bad.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That one, the stomp. I thought Draymond, because you mentioned the other stomp. So I was like, I know there'd be some Grizzlies fans out there that would disagree heavily with. They would want that one on there for sure. They would want that.
I think the Grizzlies would want the little phantom touching of John Morant's knee before he was out for the series because he got his knee hurt.
Oh, Jordan.
Yeah.
What was the saying after that?
Poole or Gary Payton did it? I think Poole because Payton was already out.
Yeah, but what was the saying? It was like because Kerr had said something like about Brooks's play, and then like Grizzlies fans tried to use it on the same way back. It was like, I forget what it was. Was it like it's not a play or dirty play? Or so there was some like phrase that yesterday in college there was a play some people thought was a dirty hit. What did you guys think of this?
Oh, that's very dirty.
It's Dean Miller.
Boom! Right.
He's so lucky he got that knee up.
Oh yeah.
The knee.
Like look how lucky that is. Dang.
Half a quarter of a second.
Right to the knee.
And to be honest, that's still gonna hurt quite a bit tomorrow. Like that he got. I mean, I bet. Like, do you think that guy will be suspended for that hit?
Yeah, I don't know how much.
He should be. I mean, if they're like
that was a pretty dirty hit. I thought right there. That was pretty bad.
I agree. And I'm not a Colorado fan.
No, but that's a dirty hit.
No, yeah, absolutely.
That's like a Booby Miles hit right there.
Yeah, that was kind of gross.
He was literally a half second.
There's an old school hit where we're missing Jack Tatum ending some guy's career.
I think Jack could have been on.
You mean Jack Tatum's whole career?
Yeah, I think all 10 could have been on Brian. Remember, like lights up. Basically, he gave like one guy paralyzed. Right, I think he paralyzed the guy on the Patriots. That guy, and then there's a couple other ones where I know was it Stalwart for the Steelers had an issue with those. There's a couple as well, but that was a good top 10.
Yeah, the other honorable mention, but I didn't want to go there because it was a little too much. I don't know. I guess not too much, but it was the Rudy T. The end of the
70s. Was that 70s, early 80s? Where it was Kermit Washington.
Would the brawl at the Palace could be considered a sideline or no?
I don't think that was dirty. It was just kind of.
There's a lot of dirty involved with it. I think that's like a whole.
The fans were.
I mean, people were throwing beer on Ron Artest when he was laying down on the score table.
And Steven Jackson said, "I'm going up there with you, buddy. I want to hit a fan too. Let's go."
I just remember that fan throwing haymakers, and Ron
Jermaine
Artest
Neal.
just knocks him out.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
Jermaine O'Neal's the one who got lucky that guy slipped before he knocked him out and hit him in the jaw. Like the guy slipped, so he kind of missed it, hit him in the chest. But
That happened this
Okay.
week. 20 years ago it was. I think it was this week, 20 years
I
ago.
literally turned that game on
Same.
10 seconds before it happened. I was
Same.
like, I'm not watching this. Like, Pistons, the good team, but I think the final score was 72-68 or something like that.
They had to end the game prematurely because
Yeah.
Thank God.
the whole thing was because Ben Wallace wasn't even supposed to play in that game because his parents had both passed away and no one really knew what his situation was, and that's when Ron Artest was just getting counseling for anger management. So it was like a correlation of just like
A lot of things.
I remember that's what kind of started the fight. Ben Wallace got pushed from behind.
Yeah, and then he
hell broke loose.
Well, then he shoved back. I might have it on here. I might do it for winners and losers of the week if I can find it. It wasn't a dirty hit, but the one hit that always stands out to me was that Bush hit. He got lit up on that one by that Eagles guy. And like Drew Brees just like throws him out to dry on a swing pass. And
Reggie Bush.
Yeah, he just gets absolutely just destroyed.
Shepard? No,
yeah,
Shepard.
Yeah, he just gets absolutely just cooked as well. You want to like possibly look at some other cheap shots, but they were not considered cheap shots back in the day. One of the best football names ever, Dick Butkus, has some good running lariats that you would say that to some guys. I mean, like literally just like right at the neck. It's like, yeah, that's a good tackle. Good tackle. Like so we got
great tackle, knock him out of the game.
All right, guys, I got a couple movies for you this week as well with it. We get some movie trivia, or not movie trivia. Take your pick, I should say. All right, let's start out with kind of two different movies, but I'm going to go. Hopefully all of you have seen Italian Job, the one with Mark Wahlberg and that version of it. That's a great movie. Italian Job or Fast and the Furious. If you're going there, with which one are you taking? Fast and the Furious, number one. There's 9 million, I know, so we're taking the original one. Or are we going with Italian Job? What are we going with, Case?
I gotta go with Fast and Furious. I know Italian Job is a great movie, but Fast and Furious is just the first one's just I don't know. It's just I love it. I could watch that movie like on repeat sometimes, especially when it first like came out. And Paul Walker, R.I.P. Just I don't know. For me, it was just a great movie that started. I mean, they got 10 of them now. For me, it's just a classic. Him and Vin Diesel just started off this whole thing that just grew legs, and to me, it's just one of the best racing movies there is, I guess.
T, what are you going with? Fast and Furious or Italian Job? Your mic's off.
Damn it! I got Fast and the Furious. I've never seen the Italian Job. I don't even like the.
That's a great movie.
I don't even like the Fast and the Furious movies outside of number one, but you limited it to number one, and just I wish they left it alone. It's a great movie.
You would like Italian Job. That would be right up your alley. You got to see. There's some good actors in that one. Very.
I know Jason Statham's in it, and like Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg.
How to chime in here? How to just
any homos? Never mind.
How's Grace doing this morning? We do this. How's the ox doing? We looking like we might be coming home. Shout out to my daughter and my wife. They've been in the hospital since Tuesday because Grace has pneumonia again, and she's been there all week. So Italian Job on us. This is her segment, so get it. We'll leave it with Mark W. I've tried to kind of, but it's kind of turned into Pat Briley, not Mark Wahlberg. So sorry, Anna. That's what we got that. So Brian, you go Italian Job or Fast and the Furious?
Fast and the Furious for sure. I love.
Gosh, a lot of hate for Italian Job. I go Italian Job on this one.
Brian Daren needs Hunter wants the A's to lose more often, so he does more sit-ups. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. Sharks need to score more. Come on, 8 goals. Let's go. What is it? What's the duck do? Like push up every time they score? No, he does like the push up every time they score. I can do that, but
yeah, the Oregon duck. Yeah, they do push up for every point.
All right. This is 2 totally different movies. So I'm curious where you guys are going to go with this one. You know where I'm going to go with it. So I've waited a little bit. So I go Shawshank Redemption. So I'm probably going with that one automatically. But for you guys, I'm curious where that lies. Or you going with an also classic in the 90s, Boys in the Hood. The two great movies, totally different kind of movies, but you have to take one. These are the movies you have. Which one are you probably usually leaning towards? Are you going Boys in the Hood? We're going to have a little tears at the end. Are we going to go Shawshank Redemption? We got some happy tears at the end. What do we have with it? But a lot of misery during the middle of it. Casey, which one do you go with there? Shawshank or Boys in the Hood?
Man, that's a tough one. I'll go Shawshank. I just watched it so many times. I mean, I have Boys in the Hood too, but it just, to me, is Morgan Freeman, Andy Dufresne. I don't even know Tim Robbins, I guess, is his real name, but it's just a movie that has just been out there forever, and just the sadistic part of it, I guess, the jails and how they used to be ran and how corrupt things were, and how he even ended up in jail was, false statement from a guy that was in prison already, and he wasn't even supposed to be in jail, was innocent. It's a long movie, but it's a great story being told. Just one of the all-time classic movies there really is.
If a TNT favorite back in the day there, Tyler, which would you go with?
Brian, go first.
All right, Brian, what you going? Shawshank or Boys in the Hood?
I love the Boys in the Hood movie. I don't know. It's just everything Ice Cube is in. I seem to like his movies a lot.
I like how we've gone opposite of Hoosiers and Glory Road boys from last week's conversation. We hit both on different spectrums this week with it. Casey, Tyler, where do you go?
I'm with Casey. I'm going and Daren. I'm going Shawshank.
I thought for sure you would go Boys in the Hood.
No, I'm not a big Boys in the Hood fan. It's okay. It's
a great movie.
It's just not for me. It wasn't made for me. Shawshank is just a classic. I think. Hey, congratulations! That's bigger news than anything we're talking about now.
It is definitely
big stuff. But Shawshank, you can put it on halfway through, and this is riveting. As if
the last 45 minutes are as good as they get.
It's awesome. It's my top.
How
5
often do you look at a man shoot? How often do you? Those are there's great lines with that. Morgan Freeman's so good at it too. So yeah, it's
when he's like, all he needed was time and a big ass poster.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only time women were in that. I think the very first scene where his wife gets killed, she was in it for like a second, and then with just the posters. There was no other women in that whole
market.
And at the
market before the guy kills him.
And then the last one was at the bank when he gives that lady the mail. There's very few scenes with women in that one. Obviously, it's a male prison, but yeah, go ahead.
Was that poster Raquel Welch?
Yes, it was. Yeah, the one at the end was. Yes, it was.
There was multiple posters throughout the movie.
But good Raquel.
Yeah, but the most famous one, Fuzzy Britches, or something like that. Morgan Freeman.
Friday Night Lights, classic here with Billy Bob. Running it, Brian. Friday Night Lights, or another one. I was thinking, is this in the same category? But I enjoyed the movie a lot, and I used to watch it a lot. As Above the Rim, I did enjoy these two movies with Tupac as the main character there. Just the whole scene was kind of set up. The fact that Georgetown was involved at the end. I always liked that the playing basketball on a roof was always a little weird to me. But other than that, what do you guys go with? Friday Night Lights, or are we going Above the Rim, a classic here?
I got Above the Rim on this one for sure. That guy's playing basketball with no ball. He's not even playing the ball. And then you got Bernie Mac is the bum. Tupac is the all-time best. This is my favorite Tupac movie. Maybe my favorite basketball movie. I definitely go Above the Rim.
That's a good one. They always have I always say they have the token white guy in that one too. He's got the blonde guy playing in this tournament. I'm like, how did Jake Voskuhl make the team? What do you got, Chase?
I'm definitely.
Brian, right? Go ahead, Brian.
I'm gonna go definitely Above the Rim. I was more into the Friday Night Lights series compared to the movie. I thought
the series. It's a great one. That's a great TV series. It was on CW for a little bit.
It wasn't on CW.
I thought for a little bit it was, maybe. Was it for a little bit, Brian?
It was NBC.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but they changed networks. They kept it alive by going to a different network. I remember. Somebody else had to.
I don't remember that. Maybe
it was. Maybe it wasn't CW though. Help me out, Hannah, if you're watching. Did
Minka Kelly always gets the ornaments cited.
That she does. Case, you go Friday night. Does Friday night get a victory, or you stay above the rim as well?
No, I'm going above the rim. I mean, I think me, Tyler, and his brother Kyle watched that a bunch. I mean, even was it the Wayne's brother who's in there too?
Marlon Wayne.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that's kind of like his like hype man a little bit, like kind of homeboy that they used to be friends with. Just the music, the pickup ball style. Obviously, I played more basketball than football. So I just related, I guess, on the hard court streets, just playing pickup ball. Friday Night Lights was, I mean, it was a badass movie, don't get me wrong, but I enjoyed Above the Rim more.
I forget the question. Oh, Friday night was Friday Night Lights. It was on NBC, but it also would make C-Dub. Did it get to C-Dub? That's what was my question. I feel like it got kicked off NBC. I'm going to go Friday Night Lights. I just think it's a better movie overall. So, like, for me, if I was choosing, I do like the story of Above the Rim, but and there's a lot of good scenes in it. But I think there is some over the top with Friday Night Lights that kind of pushed me away a little bit. But I think I would lean there a little bit. The coin toss scene I always enjoyed with Billy Bob there. Those kind of small things like that with Texas. And Billy Bob Thornton's like one of the odder. He's one of the odder actors in my lifetime. Like, there's a lot of movies I wouldn't even want to watch with him. They just look weird or something like that. But then he'll do like some random ones that he's very good, and then he's weird again in some other ones. He'll like the Bad Santa ones. Like, I didn't think I would like that at all, but I kind of did like that a little bit. So the first one, like. But I don't like this. So I don't know. He just has some interesting movies.
Yeah, he's so mean to that kid.
He is. All right. I'm going to go Men in Black, or the first one, or Back to the Future, the first one. It's a little sci-fi again. It's a tough choice there. Men in Black, the first one, or Back to the Future, first one.
That's tough.
I thought that one might be a little tough for you guys right there.
Yeah. I'm going
definitely go Back to the Future.
I'm with Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
Back to the Future, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, those movies, all three of them were great.
The third one was okay.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the
two
third
are
one.
great.
I was a little anti that third one as well. But it's still a decent movie. It's not a terrible movie.
Who's the bad guy in that one? Biff. What a bad nickname, Biff.
I just like the idea of the first one always captured my imagination. Just like the fact that you could go back in time and like see your parents in like high school and like, is your name's Calvin Klein? Your mom's Calvin Klein. What was on your underwear? I've never seen a male with purple underwear before. I just hey, what are you doing hanging from my tree over there? And then Dad's like a peeping Tom. What do you got, Case?
I go Back to the Future. The only one that makes it really close is the opening scene for Men in Black when he does the chase on foot. It's probably one of the best scenes to start a movie, I think. Will Smith chasing down the alien. But yeah, Back to the Future. Just I've watched both of them so many times, but Back to the Future, kind of like what you were saying, Darren. Just like the possibility of like maybe running your mom and dad, and just the era of that time, kind of seeing what it was like. The newspapers, the skateboarding, the manure, the cars, like just like the girls, like I was just like. I love that part. And it's just like, I don't know, just Marty McFly. I mean, it's just a great movie. I could watch it almost. You can put it on and I could watch it right now.
There's some great scenes there with that. And Tyler, what do you got? Men in Black or Back to the Future?
I said I got Back to the Future.
Yeah, Future.
So
no Men in Black for this. A little too, just not as classic as the other was Back to the Future.
Not for me. No,
Will Smith. It was a good
Back
movie.
to the Future.
I support Chris Rock.
We'll say that again.
I support.
No, I just got Back to the Future.
Okay. Case. What do you got for? I got for Cinderella Man. That's the one with Russell Crowe. Or I kind of put it up against a tough movie, but again, you might not be into this type of movie or Forrest Gump. So are you going Forrest, or are you going Cinderella Man?
Forrest Gump, not even close.
I go Cinderella Man. So for me, that's where I lean there at that one.
It's not even close. I mean, not even.
Ryan,
close.
What do you have?
Yeah, I gotta go Forrest Gump as well. I don't think I've seen Cinderella Man. So
let me join the majority. Forrest Gump, you get every scene's a classic. There's a great line in every. That's a great movie too. That's one of my top 10 movies of all time.
I still like Cinderella Man.
I've never seen Cinderella Man, to be honest, but I haven't heard anyone in pop come up to me and go, "Oh, life is like a box of tar."
No, you're right. There are hit lines from it that have lasted the last.
Yeah, so maybe it's a great movie.
You need to watch Cinderella Man then. If you guys haven't watched it, this can only work if we watch it.
It is a good movie. It is. It's a little slower, I think, Darren. I mean, it's about poverty, kind of in that time. He's a boxer, just trying to make ends meet for his family, especially during that Depression time. It's just there's no money, there's no jobs, and he's just trying to survive basically for his family. And it is a great movie. You're right, Darren. It's not as like
I like the boxing scenes in that movie too. I thought they did a pretty good job with some of the boxing scenes in that movie.
I was watching Russell Crowe with Joe Rogan. He said he learned how to box and was actually a decent boxer at that time.
It's definitely a sad movie, but it does it's about getting out of poverty. But it's a good movie. I would definitely. It's on Netflix right now. If anybody wants to check, it is on Netflix. So check it out there on Cinderella Man.
It's a great song too.
Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson replay on there as well.
It's a good song.
No, just kidding. All right. I feel like you guys maybe haven't seen these movies, so I'm gonna hold out on. I'll hold out.
No, you can list them, and we can tell you if we haven't seen them.
So they're both Clint Eastwood movies. Gran Torino.
I got Unforgiven, if that's one.
Yep, and Unforgiven. So I have Unforgiven and Gran Torino, two of its classics.
I know you too well.
Which one are you going with?
Oh, Unforgiven. In my top 3 movies of all time. Morgan Freeman, Clint Eastwood. Who's the other guy in it? Another stud. One of the best movies. You actually put me onto that movie.
Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman's the bad guy. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah. Unforgiven. Great. Me too. Gran Torino has some good lines, though. Gran Torino has some good stuff in it.
Definitely some great racism, if you love the racism.
I always love that part in Gran Torino when he shows up at the gangster's house and he's like,
yeah. I always like the relationship with him and the priest. I always find that kind of funny. There's this young priest. I don't know why. Him and this priest have this odd relationship there too. I always find that funny. But you're right. The brothers. And then
have you seen The Mule? I think The Mule in Gran Torino would be a better.
I haven't seen The Mule.
That's a badass movie.
Good movie.
Brian,
you'd like it, Darren. You should check it out.
I'll have to watch that one. I've heard of it though. Have you seen Unforgiven, Brian, or Gran Torino? You haven't seen Gran Torino? I haven't
seen either of those.
Gran Torino was a classic. Okay, that came out a while ago, but that was a lot of "Get off my lawn." That's where that line comes from, Brian. I'm sure you've heard that statement before.
Yeah,
that's where it came from there. All right, so that was movie week with it. What do you guys got for winners and losers this week? And we'll wrap it up here, episode 200 here.
Can I ask you one movie real quick? Movie question. You guys, would you rather watch The Departed or Goodfellas? I'll go Departed. I know Goodfellas is probably going to be the popular answer. They're both all-time classics for me.
I would probably lean towards. I like Departed too. I would probably lean towards.
That's great. They're both great.
Yeah, I'm Departed as well.
I'd say Goodfellas.
Yeah, I think I would lean towards Goodfellas.
I like Ray Liotta.
There's just too many, like you said, every scene kind of stuff that you can. Yeah. They got the body in the car and their mom's making meatballs for him and stuff like that. Just stuff like that. Just little things like that. Like are they?
There's the clown. You think I'm a clown? Am I funny to you?
Yeah, exactly.
That scared the shit out of that guy.
Man, Joe Pesci he's the best at that stuff though. He really is.
Yeah. He retired for 15 years and then came back as the Irishman in that movie, and was so scary.
Yeah, that's tough. I think I would lean towards Goodfellas though too. I think the beginning scene is as good as it gets.
Kevin McAllister.
I love both movies. I can't.
Kevin McAllister got away from Pesci though.
Yes, he did. Kevin McAllister. Christmas time is here. It's one of Joe's biggest regrets. You couldn't get him, Brian.
The Sticky Bandits.
Sticky Bandits. All right, let's wrap it.
Bandits at that point.
Yeah. Both. All right, let's wrap it up here. Episode 200 here. All right, guys. Winners and losers for the week. Brian, you got winner for the week?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. The winner of the week is the holiday season. It's coming up. We got Thanksgiving and Christmas. So
yes, we do.
That's great.
We got Turkey Bowl. We got turkey coming up. That's what we got, Johnson. We got a little turkey on the way here as well. Tyler, what do you got for winner of the week?
I can't even put a name to a face because it's a random NBA exec who is trying to get rid of conferences of the NBA. Daren, you mentioned it earlier. The Eastern Conference has been terrible for 30 years. Let's just make it the best 16 teams and figure it out from there. Get rid of the conferences. So anybody who's on board with that is winner of the week.
Play less games, play 2 games a year against each team.
But that's unrealistic. That's never happening. I'd love for it to happen. I'm with you. But
just play 2 games. You play like 50 games. The owners would be like, that's a lot of money. All right, winner there. I like that one. That's a good call. Hopefully that does make its way there.
Half the season.
Yeah, the whole season's over. Joel missed it. Case, what do you got for winner of the week?
I'm going to go with trying out Taco Bell's new 80s, 90s menu. Brought back some good memories. Went over there. Sat at the restaurant by myself. Felt nice getting those free refills, taking advantage. It's kind of it was nice, though. It was cool. Had a little chalupa, gordita, a little couple extra things. Brian, you know I had to get our chips and cheese.
Yes, we did. We had to get that as well. That's a
good call. Going to bring back the grilled stuffed burrito.
Brought back some memories.
How about the chili cheese burrito?
Me and Tyler must have number one burrito every single day we went to the JC for school.
That was when Brian was wearing that red flannel.
The Pizza Hut, the Pizza Hut Taco Bell over there. That was always my favorite spot.
And Tyler was summing the Doug Funny.
That was Daren. I don't even know how to hum it.
Yeah, I didn't hum it. No, Brian has a great memory. It was not me humming that.
I don't even know how. I have no tune.
There you go, right there.
If that's right, that's true. It was me. I'll take it.
Tyler's like banging on the trash cans.
and shoulder taps from Casey. Shoulder tap.
Oh yeah, I gotta like the shoulder taps. All right, my winner of the week.
Better than grab ball tap.
Hey, I always enjoy. Yes, we've learned cookies. We have learned feast week. I'm a big fan of it. College basketball feast week. I like that when they play the tournaments. You got Maui kind of starting up as well. The Maui Invitational. So I actually enjoy a little feast week there with college basketball. Kind of get some good games early. So I enjoy that. And then I got we had the big game yesterday. Cal in the first season of the ACC, they end up getting by Stanford on a final drive, turned the tables on a terrible team, but they're bowl eligible now. Cal is now bowl eligible. We'll see where they lie. They play SMU next week. SMU is ranked probably in the top 12 now. It might be 13 or 12 when that comes out. So big chance for Cal to kind of get a big win and end Southern Methodist dreams. One of the weirdest teams. I was actually watching that Pony Express documentary a little bit last night, but everybody remembers a winner of this play. We got the big
Harmon will probably try to squib it, and he does. Ball comes loose, and the Bears have to get out of bounds.
Great announcer.
Rogers along the sideline, another one. They're still in deep trouble at midfield. They tried to do a couple of... The ball is still loose as they get it to Rogers. They give it back now to the 30. They're down to the 20. Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going into the end zone.
That was funny because John Elway was at Stanford.
Oh, my God. The most amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football.
That's as good as it gets with a call from the great Mike. Was it Starkey, right, Brian? Starkey was the call.
Starkey.
Right. That was so obviously a Bay Area classic moment as we kind of started it out with looking back at some of the Bay Area stuff. So that was my winner of the week. Them playing yesterday. Cal getting the win. Always want Cal to always beat Stanford there with it. So I got that for winner of the week. How about loser of the week, Johnson?
My parents' Audi car. I guess it was considered a total loss. So they're car shopping right now to get another car, and it wasn't good. And maybe Casey, that joke about the car accident should have been more on my mom than at me.
You than that. It came true on that side of it. Brian, that is
it runs in the family, they say.
Car shopping there. Don't get something thrown at you.
Hey, I've never totaled a vehicle before. So.
That is true. We got to give you that with that.
That's
Tyler,
when you drive a blue Aerostar for years.
Big target out there. What do you have for loser of the week, McGurk?
I got two. My losers of the week. Let's start with Arizona Wildcats against the Duke Blue Devils. Caleb Love is the least enjoyable Arizona Wildcat I've watched in my lifetime since Big Mad Ivan the Terrible I hate this Arizona team. I like a couple players, but I just don't like the Caleb Love run offense. My other loser of the week is Joel Embiid with just a ridiculous quote about whoever leaked the stuff where Tyrese Maxey said you got to show up on time. He's like, it's whatever. I'll take it all because I'm the reason for everything. I'm the reason for everything. What are you the reason for? Like, what is everything? It's not very much if that's everything. I don't know. What has he really accomplished in his career? One MVP? I don't know. He hasn't done anything more than Allen Iverson.
No, that's right. I wouldn't mind the Warriors maybe. Kuminga and pods for Embiid. Can we get a little? The Sixers, how bad do we want to get rid of them? On that side of it. Case, what do you have for loser of the week?
I can enjoyably say loser of the week is Alabama football. 3 losses. Lost to Oklahoma.
Got kind of crushed too.
I enjoy watching those teams lose after being so dominant for so long. And maybe it just goes to show you, Nick Saban was that great of a freaking coach.
Oh, he was.
I mean, the recruiting and all that, obviously, but Alabama, you rarely see a team with 3 losses. It's just not. I don't know if they'll sneak in the playoffs, but they were at number 9 going in with 2 losses. So I don't know. See how it works, but yeah, that is a tough loss for Alabama football. People are probably going crazy over there right now.
Yeah, see what I saw him. He likes Milroe, kind of like you did. So I think he still has faith in him. But it's the SEC. You're going to get losses along the way there with this. It's just going to happen. All right, my loser of the week.
Does Kevin DeBoer keep his job? Does Kevin DeBoer 1 year from Washington? He's an Alabama coach. He replaced it.
Oh yeah. I think you give a college coach more than 1 year. You have to. I think. They at least still have a. Well, I mean, again, they weren't this before Nick Saban, so it goes both ways with how you have a drop off a little bit. Sorry, that's just kind of the reality of it. And they've lost some tough games, so I think he gets another year though. My loser, I already mentioned the Sanders hit there I had with it. Bob going back to center combination stats. I just pathetic. Don't give me that these 2 guys equal this guy. I do not want to hear that from Bob referring to Jackson and Looney and combining stats and making them like Anthony Davis. Stop. That's not happening, Bob, this year. And then I thought the MLB awards, though the right people won the awards, it just wasn't much drama this year with awards because of how dominant Ohtani and Judge were, even though you did have some good performances by Witt and Soto, but it just wasn't as much drama. The Cy Youngs were pretty obvious as well. So they'll be interested with that. I did do MLB. I did do the Talking the Gridiron or 7th inning this week. And I did ask Josh the question. I said, okay, does Chris Sale, now that he has a Cy Young, does he have a better chance to get in the Hall of Fame? Does Zach Wheeler, he leads all pitchers in WAR over the last 7 seasons. He has never won a Cy Young. So I'll be curious if he can ever get one, Zach Wheeler. So those were like a couple of points I kind of hit with them as well this week. So those are my losers of the week with it.
I got one more loser.
The Warrior City Connect jerseys real quick. I didn't like those. Go ahead, Brian.
I got Indiana football. They kind of showed they aren't contenders. Ohio State put them in their place. So.
Yep, they knew their rule. You go back.
One more.
Yeah, go ahead.
One more loser, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We get to see Mike Tyson's 58-year-old butt cheeks. Not a win.
No, but nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see those butt cheeks. We don't want to see that with it. All right, so episode 200 in the books, guys. Kind of a fun little run here as we continue to keep marching along here. Hopefully, Tyler, something can work out. And we got you got Friday off. Maybe I know you guys said you might go camping, but maybe even if we can make it work before something like that, like I said, got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. Maybe even there we can hopefully get you live in person. It'd be fun to do something together like that. Casey, I was thinking you could come up to bring your phone. Like we can still do it the same way, but we'd be in the same room, kind of talking basically. So I thought hopefully we can do that one time here. Brian's going to be up in around Christmas time, so Johnson maybe get you live on for some of these. I think we
got to do a live show at Papa's.
At Papa's, we got to do it at Papa's. I like that.
You got to talk to Papa's.
Yeah, Mike wouldn't care. Mike wouldn't care. He's the owner.
You know the owner.
When you go there enough, you know people there. It's Cloverdale. You go there. It's actually I know him so well. I've been going there so long. Now he'll be like, I noticed you guys get bigger pizzas now. Because I'll get like I used to always
bigger kids now.
I just would get the mini cheese pizza. Now I'll be like, I'll get a large now, and he's like, so he's never seen that, and then so yeah, he's a good guy there. I'm like, at least he doesn't know my order yet. At least he doesn't know it. At least he doesn't know all that about me yet.
Throw the sausage on it.
Goes 4 times a week. On a good week, I can go 4 times a week, but that's usually 3.
Han, are you holding it back from 5?
Yeah, she told me no, because I go to Wolf too. So that's 6. So we can't go there also. We can't dominate the scene. So I go there with it. So that was fun though, guys. Good show. In the books, 200. Been crazy doing it with you guys. I want to bring back some of those old videos. So if you ever see a good one, send me the clip, and I can kind of put it up there. All that WWF. That's what I remember. Why? That's good.
We got to get Tyler laying on the bed.
We got to get Tyler on the bed. Yes, we'll get Tyler on there with it. We'll get there.
Very seductive.
Brian, good luck watching Mr. Who is it? Tony Allen? No, Brady Allen. You got Brandon Allen. We'll get his name right one of these times.
It might be brutal today.
Yeah, so good luck there in Green Bay. Tyler, survive that. Good to see you, man.
Right, but what if they win? Are you back on board? Putting your bets on the table, or are you still?
Oh, good God! Let's not go to the Nets again. Let's stay there. Let's go, Chris.
I feel like we're cooked.
The cookies are.
What if they win today?
I just don't see a win.
They got to go at Buffalo too next week.
No Bosa. I mean, man, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I don't. Against the love machine, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
It does feel like the Mullen era. The Mullen era.
The Mullen era back there with it. Case, take a good nap during the Raiders game if you get a chance to watch it. Enjoy it. Enjoy that. Enjoy your nap there around 1 o'clock if you can fall asleep to it. So, all right, guys. Hey, appreciate you. Hannah, hope everything's well. Hopefully we see you soon.
Yeah.
Back on with it. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Yep. It was a long one, this show, but it deserved it for episode 200. So, guys, have a good week. Have a good Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys hopefully then. All right. Peace.
Later.
Thanks.